Hello everybody and welcome back to the Southern Cross Station map. I believe I actually started the previous video in exactly the same location. Unless I'm mistaken, maybe it was the episode before. It's just I don't think we were driving the Mack. So we're driving this because what we're going to do is really figure out how much it's going to cost us to buy an animal trailer and sell it again, and also to pay for somebody to move our animals. And when I say the animals, I'm talking about the cows, because I did a vote in the previous video and 2/3 of my audience at the time of recording this wanted the cows to go, and obviously 1/3 wanted them to stay. So we've got to get to the bottom of this. We need to first of all figure out how much it's going to cost for somebody to transport our animals to the livestock market. And of course we know exactly how much the trailers cost. It's $59,000 or $24, I think, depending on which one we get. But then we have a resale value, and if we buy it and then sell it again pretty much straight away, the resale value will still be fairly high. So I think possibly buying one, although very expensive to begin with, will actually be far cheaper. It just depends which way you look at it. So here are the cows. We need to first of all go into the trigger, wherever it may be, where you load them up, probably somewhere around here. Yep, here we go. And yeah, just see how much somebody's going to charge us. So if we put all 31 in, the fee is $4,650. Okay, so it doesn't sound too bad. So $4,650. 31 cows, I think we'd have to say would be in one of these trailers just here. It doesn't... oh, here we go. 26 cows, oh blimey. So maybe it would be actually... but no, not a leveler. It would be better to put it into here. That doesn't appear to say how many it takes, but I think it's something like 8. It's not very much. I don't know, so maybe 2 loads with one of these and then sell it again. This could be a real gamble. It might end up being more expensive, but it could also be cheaper. I think how fast we do it will be the biggest deciding factor. So if we go over to the store first, before we buy it, so it's not actually clocking the time up of owning it, then we'll just basically buy it, use it, and take it back. So we could legitimately say that we just want to borrow it. Or, you know, it could even be class. I mean, how much would it be to lease it? Because I don't like leasing, but it's another alternative. Yeah, that's quite expensive. You see, it probably would be cheaper to sell it again, but I don't know. We're just going to have to work this out. This is going to be a true test. So you may be wondering what's happened between the video before this and this one. Basically, this morning, that's why it's now 10 o'clock and not early on, I finished off this field. I thought I might as well just do it all, instead of bringing it back into a video. It had to be done, so it's done. All finished. I started at 6 AM, or thereabouts, probably about 10 past, and finished about 9 o'clock. And I've been driving around, sorting all this out ever since. So yeah, the soybeans are in, also the field of corn is in, and a field of sunflowers. So we really do have quite a diverse number of crops in the ground. I also worked out that the corn is going to have to be fully harvested prior to any wheat, barley or canola going in. So we really are going to be finishing all of that, what we've already started, before the main crops go in. Which is actually really good, because potentially we might be able to get 2 crops a year into those fields. Which would be just incredible. So really making the most of the land. And it's going to be direct drilled. We're going to really direct drill from now on. Here is the shortcut. Yeah, so I might end up making a loss, like I say, but it doesn't really matter, because then I can say at least we've tried it. Right, here goes. We have to keep everything as standard, otherwise we're definitely going to make a loss. But we've got to get back as close to £58,000 as possible. I think if it's anything like... let's say if it's less than $54,000, we've made a loss, but it is actually less than that. 53,000 and something. So really, floor it, pretty much, within reason, as long as we're driving safely, because after all, this is the semi-realistic series. So, I think pretty much everybody by now is going to be aware of the massive news yesterday, and that was the announcement of John Deere being in Farming Simulator 19. It's true, it's going to be in, and I think it's a massive relief and you know, just incredible for everybody, because I think, well, over the time I've been doing these videos, ever since 2014, I have always had people saying, why don't John Deere go in the game and stuff, why don't they just get John Deere in the game? And it hasn't really been happening, and it hasn't happened until now. I can only assume it's because they've been trying to explore other avenues of opportunities before going to John Deere, like AGCO and all that kind of stuff, because AGCO is also a brilliant company to have in the game. So yeah, right, this is the wrong place, isn't it? We need to go around the back to get back. We're gonna have to. Actually, is there another crossing over here? No, unless you want to swim. This is the crossing we're going to have to use. Oh, the John Deere is still over there. That needs to be moved. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be any tracked John Deeres in FS19. That will be interesting to know. I would have thought, just thinking about it, that if there was, they would have used that in the CGI trailer, but maybe not. Might not necessarily have done. It's just, it is a bit of a beast of a tractor. Now, I did see that there were a few posts from Giant saying that some form of in-game video was going to be released at some point soon. It didn't say when, but I did see that, so hopefully not too long. That's 26. We've got space for 5 more. I suppose the sensible thing would have be to half load it, and then there'd been less weight, but it doesn't really make a difference. All that's left to do now is to take a very leisurely drive over to the animal market, and luckily I do know where it is. It's a place which I have been to today, about half an hour ago, so yeah, easy, very easy, although I might still get lost, so you never know. This could be hilarious. I don't think anything will ever beat that Fiat tractor on Ballincraig Estate. I've never seen anything like it before, but for the comedy value it was worth it. It's a decent mod and everything. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the shed that caused it, the roller, or the tractor. It was just amazing. It was worth every second of it, and I could never recreate it. I could never make it do it again, so that video was just pure gold in my opinion. Even if nobody else wanted to watch it, I would have kept it, because it's just hilarious in its own way. I'm not saying that I was funny in it, because I probably wasn't, but what the tractor was doing was just you know, absolutely incredible. It was just hilarious. I would like to try and recreate it, actually. We could get 2 in there, try and get 2 to do a dance in the shed. If you don't know what I'm talking about, then yeah, just check out my video a few weeks ago, Ballincraig Estate. You'll see basically a Fiat tractor in a shed upside down on the thumbnail, so yeah, take a look. Should really have stopped there. I'll have to in future. Yeah, so the livestock market is just around the corner here. Down this straight piece. Where the giant moo-moos are. I believe that has been mentioned before. Yeah, that is the place where they're going to. In fact, the moo-moos are going to Moo-Moo Land just here. Yeah, very childish, but yeah, this is the place. So that is the one for them. There we go. If we sell, obviously all of them, there'll be no fee. $59,445. That's good. And now back for the final 5. And then we'll have to take it back over to the store. Hopefully the cows haven't made a mess in here. Oh, very nice. Very clean. Maybe they cleaned up after themselves. I've also just realised the capacity of the fuel tank. I'm assuming that is fairly standard, but they are some big figures. If you think about it, like a pickup truck or something usually has something like a 70 to 100 litre tank, and then this truck has got almost, well, it probably did have 1300 litres, I don't know how efficient these trucks are, to be honest. Certainly by looking at it in FS, it's very efficient, but I just think in real life they are not so good. But again, it's going to come down to the sort of terrain you're on, whether it's hilly or what you've got in the back. But one thing's for sure, I bet they're really powerful. One thing to note actually is you'll see just over there on the horizon, I've got the two trailers, the two flatbeds. I've put them over where the sheep wool spawn point is, so that I can keep moving the wool every time the trigger becomes full. I'm assuming that the capacity is 4 pallets. There's actually 3.5 at the moment, so we're going to probably have to start moving some. I'll do that as soon as we finish this. And, oh yeah, regarding the sugarcane, apparently, well, somebody said that you couldn't actually do it on this map. I'm not sure if it's true. It might be. And somebody else said that it wouldn't be seen in this part of Australia, so yeah, maybe reconsidering that. And to be fair, it will actually be very expensive to set it all up because of the machinery. The only good thing is you don't have to replant it, which is really good. Okay, so let's load up the rest. 5. There we go. Oh, look at the sky. It's going a bit dark. I hope it's not going to rain. Must be fairly empty in the back there. Let's just see. Yep, lots of space for them. My assumption is for every second that we use the trailer, the more it's going to depreciate. I'm aware of Seasons actually having a feature where if you buy something and then you don't like it, you can just get rid of it again for exactly the same price. I don't know how long it's going to last for. It could just be an hour. But if it is, then yeah, obviously that's already passed. But we'll see. Ooh, that's weird. There we go. 14,826. Right, so let's go and see if we can beat that roughly £4,500 fee. Don't know what it was exactly, but it was unwanted either way. Take a left turn here. It's a bit like driving through Goldcrest Valley. I think it's all the same buildings just here. Right, there's a lot of stop signs. There's some tractors, that's where we're going to. That's actually a way in. Right, so if we put the trailer here, then we'll see. We'll find out if it's cost us more or less than paying somebody else to do it. Obviously we've got the fuel cost too. Exactly the same price. It costs us nothing. Which probably is a little bit generous because we have used it. Maybe we know the people at the dealer. But yes, it's done. It is done. So over to the wool. We need to go and move the wool because it looks like it's sheep. It's now going to be our main money income for, well, our main income for this map from an animal point of view. We should make an absolute fortune from the crops, hopefully. I think that's our field. Oh no. No. Bit optimistic. Field 20 is huge. I wish it was. The next one along is though, field 21, that's fairly large. Like I say, we've got the trailers just over here. I would say that's the best place to put them. We'll just park the Mack here. There we go. And we're going to have to run across to the New Holland. Actually, we probably don't have a pallet fork for the New Holland, although we might have started off with one for the case. It's something I need to look into. I would like to have one for the telehandler. If we put this over with the bales, we might just really quickly head back over to the store and get a CSZ one. So many bales, really good. Now you may also be thinking, oh well, you've got these bales now, but you don't need them. Well, the grass bales or the hay bales will be used for the sheep, and the straw bales, they may not be required. Yeah, it's a good job we've got more hay. So yes, from now on, chances are all of the straw will be sold. But the hay bales we're going to have to keep because those sheep obviously going to keep breeding, and we're going to get quite a lot of sheep, meaning quite a high feed consumption. Okay, here it is. We still have to buy a John Deere tractor. Again, I think it's going to be in the next episode, but it's one of those two-wheel drive tractors. We also need to buy a self-propelled sprayer, thinking about it. Right, telehandlers. And then pallet fork. We could go for a standard pallet fork at 1200, or we could pay for this one at 2649. I probably will actually go for the standard. Yeah, we will do. Usually I'd use the CSZ, but as we're only moving some wool pallets, it doesn't really need anything too expensive. It's turned out to be a really good telehandler, this. Very pleased that it was converted over to FS17, and it had the modification of the 3-point linkage for moving stuff about. I would never do ploughing or anything with it, but I suppose you could do if you wanted to. It's really good though, because I picked up, I think it was 4 bales, and it didn't even attempt to tip over forward, so it must be so heavy on the back. Really good counterbalance. And we have double indicators. Very fancy. I'm just trying to remember some of the comments which I have received, and one of them which I can remember is, why don't you turn traffic on? Well, traffic is on, I'm just assuming the map doesn't have traffic. But it doesn't really bother me because it goes so slow that it can actually get really annoying. So yeah, that's the reason why. I don't believe that there is traffic on the map. It can't, well, there can't be because it's switched on, but there is none. So it's not really rocket science. But that must be the only reason for it. So anyway, yeah, good question. Just trying to think of some more, because this is a really good opportunity to try and answer some questions. Most of the comments were regarding what happens in this part of the world and how to do it and stuff, which is really useful. So thank you to everybody who did post those comments. Right, so yeah, there should be at least 4 pallets of wool. It looks like they might all be full. Is that a bell spike? Yeah. Yeah, well, even if it was a pallet fork, then we couldn't have used it because it's for the tractor, and I prefer to use the telehandler. Try and use the telehandler for doing this. I don't usually do it from in-cab view. I find it quite tricky. These trailers are auto-load. However, not today. I'm going to do it myself. I suppose you'd put some weight on the back first, would you? Put some on here. I suppose it doesn't really matter though. Okay, there's 1. And we should have 3 more. Yeah, if we had the CSZ pallet fork, it probably would actually go straight through here and pick up 2 together, which is useful. It's just you might drop one. It's 2,000 litres. I can't believe it. It's already 3:15 in the afternoon. The time really does fly. I suppose it's because I cut out the drilling first thing. I did think it was for the best though, because we did so much in the previous video. Chances are you wouldn't have wanted to see it again. There we go, that's 2. 2 more. Actually, that mower is in the way. This is a good test. We should be able to move it out of the way with this. A weird sight, but incredibly useful. I don't really want it in here at all. It'd be really weird if you actually turned it on. I don't think you'd be able to though. There. Yeah, that is very, very useful. The final pallet. I've just done one off screen. But yeah, that is a good start. So we already have, well, if that first one was full, I'm not sure if it was, but that would be 2, 4, 6, 8, 8,000 litres. That's not bad. because we're only on episode 4. Pallet per episode. I suppose that, yeah, we're doing a day per episode, so it's going to add up. But the more sheep we get, the better. I wonder if they need to be fed. We can't neglect them. We can ignore the cows, that's perfect. Yeah, they're going to need some water and hay in the next episode. Or maybe we might be able to finish off today with it. I know that one of the big comments which I've seen is to not really do too many animal jobs on this map, because we do that on Ballincraig Estate, which is a very fair comment. I do. I don't really want to do the same thing on both. So yeah, that should be the best way of doing it. Seems good. It's looking threatening, this sky, like it's going to be a thunderstorm or something. I'm not sure if there's going to be. But yeah, that's good. Why is that? Why did I leave that there? I don't want to leave stuff in a messy position. I want to just put it as neat as possible. Now I'll put it here. Should be space. Good. So that is quite a few jobs done. Before I forget, we have this tractor to move as well. Let's just get into here. I've been forgetting to use interactive control. Always worth it. Interactive control is a very good feature. It would be nice if it was in the standard tractors, really, in the base game. I have a plan. I think we're going to buy a sprayer. We do need a sprayer, and I don't want to get carried away and go buying some fields or something and then forget to get one, because we can't afford to not have one. Ah yes, I remember somebody else mentioning that the Massey Ferguson sprayers are not sold in Australia, so I'm not sure where they are sold then, because I know they're not sold in the UK. So they must be, I suppose, the American market. I don't know. I always thought it was for the Australian market, but apparently not. The things you learn doing these videos, it's incredible. Right, that combine can actually shift. That can go somewhere else. I'll move that later. It's taking up way too much space in here. That should move out of the way. It's a bit slow, but it's still good. Okay, so I do like that tractor. I think it's really useful. Can you go under the bonnet? No. Yeah, so if we go to the Hilux, we're going to drive over to the shop again. We're always at the shop. We spend most of our life at the shop. But we do need to start spraying. It's very important. Spraying is going to be a big part of our profits. It's most important really on the wheat fields, because we're going to do a lot of wheat. And I want to be getting a lot of yield out of it. I want to be, you know, a high yielding field, getting a lot of grain out of it. Whoa, it's a rough track, and I was going too fast. So without the Massey Ferguson, although I'm still inclined to buy it, I don't really know which self-propelled sprayer we can go for, because I didn't really want to go for the New Holland. We've used it quite a bit, like in multiplayer and stuff. I don't know, I might still go for the Massey Ferguson, despite it apparently not being the one for the area. Sprayers. Oh, we do have the Starer. I've never used the Starer, I don't think. We've got a Challenger as well. What's the best width? So that can do 5,000 litres at 36 metres. That can do 3,000 at 28 litres. So, sorry, 28 metres, not litres. Oh, that's very good, actually. It's actually, I don't know. That's tough. High capacity, not as wide. Low capacity, pretty wide. And then sort of, yeah, good capacity and very wide. The choices I have to make doing these 36 metres. Well, we could just do a... Yeah, we could just do a trail one. Capacity. Ah, perfect. And it's so much cheaper too. Okay, that's that decided. Which tractor is best? The two-wheel drive John Deere? I would say so. It's amazing. It doesn't look very big, but it must be. So it's the Kuhn Metris 4102. Yes, John Deere. Let's figure this out. It's this pack. It doesn't want to be massive, but it wants to be obviously enough power and on row crop. I'm thinking 8100 with a tune and with GPS, definitely. And flashes. What should we do here? Flashes both beacons, £74,000. I would say, on paper, that's going to look really good. Yeah, I think so. I think it is. So, we need to obviously start. We can hopefully do field number 19 today, I'm hoping. There is a possibility that we're going to make a bit of a mess to begin with, because obviously we have to put the tram lines in. Those front tyres look a bit chunky. Hopefully they don't do too much damage. Oh yes, and we actually need to get a placeable liquid fertilizer refill point, as far as I'm aware. I couldn't find anything, so for the time being, we'll get 2 of these tanks. We may have to get more in a second. But yeah, that would be incredibly useful, having an actual store for it. My G27 now seems to have a bit of a creep. It creeps forwards. I'll have to extend the dead zones. How many is that going to be? Yeah, perfect. 2 will be perfect. Not close enough? No. Oh, I think the Hilux's engine's still running. I don't want to leave that going. We'll put it into a parking space, and then we can come back for it later. Where are the parking spaces? I suppose here somewhere. That will do. Good. And that's full, pretty much. So off we go. Field 19. I like it. Good setup. Well, I say that now. Let's see if it is in the field. It should be. It should be very good. We can even modify it and put the dual wheels on it, which might be very useful in the future. That's the field. The cornfield just there. I've been driving all the way down here looking for an opening into the field, but it looks like it is completely fenced off, so we're going to have to find the allocated entrance. I know for a fact there's no collision on the fence there, but there's no way I'm driving through it. That's going to make me ill. Let's just turn that flashing off. Yeah, so we'll have to just find the correct entrance. I'm assuming it's where we join the track which goes over the bridge, or over the crossing. So pleased we've got GPS. Although actually, I might not need GPS for this field. So it should. Oh no, it probably won't destroy the crop, will it? Because, yeah, I don't think row crops do. It's been a long time, but I wish they did actually. I would like to put the tram lines in. I suppose the only way of doing that is with the standard tyres. Anyway, I'll do this properly. I won't waste anything. So the first application of liquid fertilizer going on. I'm hoping it's not going to take too long. The main reason for this is because I know how many fields we have to do, and we have to do it 3 times, or 2 times, because yeah, the drill, the majority of the time is going to fertilise, if it is the direct drill. If it is the standard drill, I don't think we do have the fertiliser on that. Please get to the edges. That was good enough. Yes, I think in future I'm going to have to make a point of actually putting tram lines in, and then after that, for the second or third application, we'll just put the row crops on, so we don't extend the tram lines, we'll just follow them. Right, well this is the final piece of the field, which you should be able to see on this map. There you go. I'm assuming this is going to take it all in. Hopefully it is. I don't know if it covers that piece as well. I think it's mostly here. But yeah, it's done a good job. I think that's perfectly good enough. We don't really need a self-propelled. So that should bring this field up to the same quality as the other fields. Obviously it's behind because we didn't put the fertilizer in when it was planted. So if we just check the map, we should be able to see, there we go, absolutely 100% covered. I don't think there's anything missed at all. Field number 1 needs doing too, so we'll do that tomorrow. And then yeah, these three will be together. Field 18 will need to be done again. Let's just see, how long have we got for this? Quite a while, so yeah, there's plenty of time. That's good. The priority looks to be the sunflowers and the corn. The soybeans can wait much longer, so that's alright. Okay, so we're going to put this back into one of the barns here. Should be able to fit fairly easily. And then we're going to call it a night again. Looks like we finish at 9:30 every day. GPS is incredibly useful. Couldn't really do without it. We could put it in here. Yep, we'll put it in here. Because it's going to be used again almost straight away. Okay, so thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And until next time, see you again very soon. Bye for now.